Today is March 24th, 2021. This is the Kubernetes CSI implementation meeting. So I copied this items from the previous meeting. We can probably go back, and I don't know if we still need to discuss them. I will just go to our project board, 121. Okay, so I'll go with these items, the in progress items. The first one is this E2E test to validate the performance metrics. So just checked with Ronak. He says there's still one open issue that is still being discussed. So I think since Michelle is reviewing this, so I need to check with her and see what is the conclusion, see if we can actually get this merged today. Next one is CSI migration. Do we have Java? Okay, so Java is not here. Do we have an update on CSI migration for anyone? Otherwise, we'll move on to the next. Okay, so next one is one snapshot. So Grant is still working on the E2E test for metrics. He moved that to the CSI mock volume. But I think after that, there are still some issues that he's trying to address. So we're trying to get it in today, but I'm not sure. So we'll see how that goes. So, all right, next one. Okay, it's so weird. Can't move this. Okay, next one is a generic ephemeral volume. Do we have any remaining work here, Patrick?
I think that one is done. You can go to the project board to refer. I look up my project board for it. The web documentation that I think needs to be merged still, but it got a lot looks good to me today, so that should be fine.
Okay. Okay, so I think that deadline is 31st, merge deadline. Okay, so we have a few days.
Yeah, and I need to update the cap a little bit to reflect the metrics changes. But there's a pending PR. I just need to ping reviewers, but that's not blocking the release, I think.
Okay, and those are not like required for the release anyway, right? So those are just
no, it's really just keeping bookkeeping and keeping it in the same state.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you. So I think next one is probably still yours, the capacity.
Yeah. So I think Cheng has been reviewing my pending PRs for external provisioner. We have 2 of them now in a state where Michelle could approve the changes. That I think is the extended metric support and the maximum volume size. I have 2 more PRs that Cheng still needs to look at, but because this is not required for the Kubernetes deadline, we still have time for those.
Okay, right, those are all auto tree.
Yeah. We agreed to move ahead with using the 121 API from the beta snapshot of Kubernetes, because that is needed for the maximum volume size. And I have one tracking item here to update that after Kubernetes 121.0 is officially released, so that we go out with an external provisioner that has the official API code. But that's, again, something that comes later. The more pressing issue is something that I've been working on recently and just submitted PRs today, an E2E test. I got one bug report and actually a pull request that fixes the bug in external provisioner, where the informer was not set up correctly. It basically, the mistake was that the informer was run twice, both once explicitly in the controller and once through the factory. And it looks like the client code Go code doesn't handle that gracefully. It basically runs Go processes twice. And I think what happened eventually was that my callbacks were invoked for the same storage class multiple times. And that led to duplicate objects. And because this is only something that happens when you actually really run the binary, I started thinking about where to put an E2E test that not just uses capacity information that is covered by volume provisioning in a suitable configuration, but actually an E2E test that looks at CSI storage capacity objects and does some kind of sanity testing or some validates that the existing objects are what they should be. There are multiple problems with that. The external provisioner doesn't have an E2E test suite. That would be one place to put it, because then if we run it with a known driver, we would know exactly what the outcome is, but we don't have that, and setting it up would be complicated. So I kind of didn't pursue that. Same issue if we put it into the CSI host path driver. We could do something like mock testing where we deploy with our own YAML files, but again, that is complicated. What I ended up doing in this one pull request, not sure what you are looking.
So where is the pull request you're talking about? Is this in
yeah,
this the in progress?
if you go to the progress, yeah, at the top of storage capacity tracking, this E2E test here.
Oh, this one, the first one.
This one, yeah, this is the one that I just created half an hour ago.
Oh,
so
okay.
That uses the approach of writing a generic test suite and through the test driver info, a driver can enable or describe how it behaves. It can say that it publishes storage capacity information. That's the first thing. And it can say that it is a local storage driver. That's the other thing that currently is in the PR. And then the test runs some checks on the resulting CSI storage capacity objects. And that works for the CSI driver host path. That's what I've been testing with.
Okay.
And the long-term or the short-term goal is to get this PR merged, ideally before the test freeze deadline, which is today.
That's today. It's very
yes,
unlikely.
I know. I've been rushing. I've tried hard to meet the deadline, but I know that we now also need a reviewer.
Do we backport? I don't know. Do we backport EU test? I'm not sure if we do that. Jan, do you know?
I think usually we don't.
We don't. Okay.
So it's in some sense a low-risk test because it'll just get skipped for most.
Yeah, this is big. 400 lines. This is really big.
Oh well, no. I wrote that in one day by with a little bit of cut and paste and so on. So no, it could be worse. But yeah, I understand. It certainly is something that might need attention. And I've not looked at the test failures yet. Yeah, I need to check that. So the question is, should we try to get that in, or do we just delay it? If not, well, we'll just not have test coverage or that kind of test coverage.
Well, if you want me to make a call, seems like we should. This is kind of big, but maybe you want to talk to Michelle. So whoever is doing reviews for you, who is more familiar with this, maybe she can make a call on this.
The reviewer would be Cheng, but I think
Cheng, okay.
He's not on the call today.
Oh, sorry, I came in a little late. Yeah.
Okay, you are okay.
Yeah, so I can definitely take a look at this today as soon as possible and make a call. And maybe I'll drop in some comments in the PR.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I can still do further refinements later today if that's necessary. But yeah, at the end of the day, it's a very rushed thing. So we may want to decide whether that's actually useful enough to put it in or has to wait. Yeah.
Yeah. Sounds good.
Okay. So looks like this is the only one that is kind of we want to meet the deadline today, right? The other things that are actually out of tree, so we have more time.
Yeah, that's right. Okay.
Okay.
What time is the deadline, or
It's
is it just
end of day today. I think it's 5 p.m. Pacific time,
Ooh,
I believe.
okay?
Yeah, and it's not just a review, but also someone. I think we don't actually need to merge it today. At
Really?
least that's
sure?
that's what confused me with
What?
the
Then what
feature
is a test?
PRs.
What does that mean? Test not merging.
I think at least for feature PRs, it was so that any PR that had looks good to me and was approved and had the milestone was acceptable. It didn't actually have
Yeah.
to
So, but
merge
yeah,
in
look
there.
good to me. That means merge. Actually, that's what I mean. You need to have both approved and look good to me label, right?
Yeah, but it doesn't have to be merged. So if
Yeah,
there is,
that's fine. Yeah, but still,
yeah,
but basically they have to finish reviewing, feel comfortable, right? So yeah,
yeah.
I know that
And
merge
even
takes time. Yeah, it can take
and
days.
even I had that with my feature PRs because I needed to rebase. So it had all of those. It had the milestone, LGTM. It was approved, but it could
Yeah,
never be merged without a rebase. So I tried.
right. But that's probably people have been reviewing that for a while. But you know, Chen is
Yeah.
going to review, so he's going to make the call.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So that's for this one. Okay. Anything else for this strategic capacity?
No, I think that's it.
Okay. Thank you. Okay, next one is the volume populator. Ben?
This one, we're just waiting on approvals for creating the 2 new repos. Did you get pinged about that, Xing?
No, I didn't check. Sometimes I get too many emails, so I think the notifications sometimes get ignored. I'll go check. So you just opened it? Did you?
I think I created it 2 days ago, and
really?
the infra people should have tagged you and Saad. I think they did that yesterday. So if you need,
I'll take a look. If you have a link, yeah, put it on my Slack. Now I'll remember to take a look. So did you and Saad agree upon the name yesterday? He was in the meeting yesterday, right?
We didn't end up discussing the name of the repo. So if he has objections, he'll have to raise them in the issue, and we'll have to resolve those. So, but I can track down Saad first and get his approval, and then bug you about it if that's what you'd like.
Yeah, because the name, I mean, I don't have a very strong opinion on the name itself. Yeah, but yeah, let me know which PR is that. At least I take a look. Yeah, but if he is, yeah,
well, it's an issue, right? You create an issue, and then you get the approvals, and then they do the work. So yeah, I'll get
just whatever the link
first.
That is. Yeah, I think we just need to do like a +1. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
You CC, does that have a like CC me and Saad on it?
I think that's what the infra people did.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's unfortunately I need to find a better way to get pinned. So.
I know it's ridiculous how many emails you get from GitHub. So I will track down Saad first, and then after he approves it, I'll track down you.
Okay.
So that it gets done.
Okay, the next one, delete fs group to cset driver. This is command. So he's not here. Skip that. One expansion, still command. Skip that. The last one is one house. So Ryan is working on a PR that removes the agent logic from the external house repo. So that's the remaining work. But I think he says found there's something that he wanted to fix on the Kubernetes side as well. But I think that's not as critical. So that's okay. That is what I have here. Do we normally go over, those are to dos, right? So probably don't have to go over them. And then those 2 items are from last time. So it does not look like Chris is here. So yeah, so he has this issue on the minor version support. I think Michelle, Patrick, and myself all added some comments there. So I think we will discuss more how to do that. Are there any other topics? If not, that's it for today. Thanks, everyone. Bye.
Have a good one.
Bye.